Northeastern province, which borders both Somalia to the east and Ethiopia to the north, has experienced a lot of cross-border conflict-related issues. This is due to the fact that pastoralists from either countries cross their borders in search of pasture and water for their animals, resulting in recurrent attacks and counterattacks over the scarce resources from either side. In order to reduce these hostilities, a cross-border peace dividends initiative where different communities share resources on either side of the border has been established. Peace 2 theory of change believes that by co-managing and sharing tangible peace dividend projects, cross-border communities will develop strategic relationships and long-lasting structures, providing the basis for a joint response when faced with violent conflict in the future. In addition to the resource sharing, communities from either side of the border are trained through workshops on skills for conflict transformation and reducing hostilities among themselves.
As a part of the trauma program, there is a peace dividend, programs or projects in our area, like Borhawa. We have rehabilitated, water kiosks. And now we are planning to build a small dispensary. This dividend project is going on in Mandera and the other side of Kenya.
Projects have been established along the border to create relations between the people living on both sides of the border. This includes schools, tanks, dams, so that a person from the other side can easily cross the border, use the resources on this side. People from Somalia cross to Kenya to get education. People from Kenya might cross to the other side, get medication, and so on. And this is necessary because this is going to create a purpose of uniting these people. They will have a reason. So that if anybody on the other side decides to create a problem on these sides, their own kinsmen will stop them because they gain from the other side. So it has helped a lot in healing, and that has created the individuals to be able to forgive, live with one another.
In the trauma healing and awareness training, much attention is mainly given on making trauma easily understandable within the Somali context so that the people can identify with it and relate it to their own situation. In the Somali language, trauma is known as tiranyo, or simply put, great pain.
Zamani tulikuwa tunahusisha wale wazee, lakini siku hizi tunawaita hawa vijana ambayo wanaweka chuki mingi kwa roho yao. Tunaambia hawa wasifanye hivi, tunatuliza hawa, tunaleta hawa pamoja.
The trauma healing and awareness training appreciates the fact that the Somali communities have for a long time had their own traditional and religious ways that they use for conflict resolution. The training therefore involves merging the Islamic teachings on conflict resolution, the Somalis' traditional methods of resolving conflict, and the creation of friendly spaces where community members can open up and speak freely about their suffering, thus creating an atmosphere for forgiveness and complete healing.
We went back to the book, the holy book that is, and we went back to our traditional way of life. That is how we managed the conflict that we had.
Trauma healing and awareness training is helping the Somali communities to identify and be aware of their traumas and their causes, as well as working out solutions that will go a long way in helping them to tackle any future traumatic experiences. However, a lot more still needs to be done to reach the very many people who are still in dire need.
The good thing with the trauma healing is that it helps the affected parties in the identification of the issues that are affecting them and come up with solutions. Like if it's about two parties who have been in conflict, the best thing is for them to sit down, identify issues. Why have we been fighting? We have been fighting over what? Is it water? Is it pasture? Is it other resources? Okay, how best can we share what is available? You see, and that helps in healing, the wounds, and trying to bring these people who have perceived each other as enemies together.
Mahali hiyo trauma training imeenda, watu sasa wiko mzuri kabisa, wanakunywa maji pamoja, hata wana share ile natural resources, kila kitu.
Hii dawa inatakana ipelekwe kwa pale papote watu wako chini ya miti. na tumefaidika kwa hiyo, na hiyo ikitendeka, mimi nafikiri uchungu kuanzia leo hakuna.
Tunamwambia watu wa hii project aendelee vizuri, na walitufunza vizuri na tulipata usaidizi mengi kutoka hii watu wa hii project.
To the Somali communities, conflict and pain has for a long time been a way of life. However, there is a new dawn that is bringing with it the realization that revenge does not in itself bring satisfaction, but instead culminates into more violence. A new world of reconciliation and forgiveness is being born, and a better future is at hand.